Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh, yeah. Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on The Casey Malone Show.
Today we visit WYSU's Barbara Krause, the classical voice of the valley. She's also the bread whisperer and bakes with me. But first, it is true farm to table at Anthony's Farm Market in Mercer. In Mercer, Pennsylvania, you will find Anthony's Farm Market. And the owners are Tina and Dwayne Anthony. And a few years ago, going back a ways, I met the Anthonys out at the Four Seasons Farm Market. And they were selling their produce and that there. And now, look at you guys. Now you're in the service business. How did this market come to be?
Well,
who wants to talk?
Well, this was always a dream of mine to do. I thought that it would be the best way to sell our product direct instead of going to a market like we did at Four Seasons.
Yeah.
And we would be more in control of the quality, the price, etc. So that's how this came. We couldn't find a good way to sell our product, so we bought this store, and here we are.
So now you plan on incorporating the produce you grow, meats, cheeses from the local purveyors around here, and then a lot of other local products.
Yes.
I mean, that's really true farm to table. You went from, first of all, a city slicker, you marry the farmer, and now, I mean, you really bought in. When I first met her, you had just gotten married.
Yeah.
And I says, what's it like to be a farmer's wife? And you said, I am just finding out. We've only got married like less than a year ago. And I said, where are you from? And you're like, the city. Now, what did you do before you took the farmer as his wife?
I was medical secretary.
Okay, so those skills, they don't really
Well,
come in handy now?
I've been a medical secretary, I've been a legal secretary, and the skills have carried over into especially what we're doing now.
For the organization.
In addition to doing the hands-on things like working in the bakery here, I also keep the books, and so I'm the bookkeeper, I'm the secretary, I'm part-time baker, and I wear a lot of hats.
Yes, you do. I mean, okay, so the donuts, amazing. I mean, you make those fresh every single day.
Yes, every morning. Well, last time when we talked at Four Seasons, I said I was not a morning person. And he was,
oh, yes.
Yes, because I was getting up at the crack of dawn and even before the crack of dawn to be able to be there to set up. And now when I come in and help in the bakery, I'm getting up at 2, coming in at 3. So I figure if he keeps challenging me, it'll reach the point where I just don't even need to go to bed.
Man, you just better living on coffee.
I have plans on an addition out back with some cots.
Yes. The convenience of having the prepared foods, baked goods. I mean, this is really one stop. You've got a great deli, with the quality meats. You use a lot of local ingredients. But I think a lot of people really enjoy having this. I mean, you don't have a lot of grocery stores and that nearby.
I think what started it for us was we got mad at the stuff in the store. As from a consumer standpoint, forget the farmer.
Yes.
From a consumer standpoint, you go in a store and there's stuff from different countries, coming in, and I said, that's it. I'm going to raise our own cows, and raise our own pigs, chickens, eggs, produce, and try to eliminate as much of that for our family. A lot of people started saying, why don't you open a store and do that, So,
yeah.
And then that was kind of the other thing, the whole farm, and there is a movement right now from farm to table.
And definitely, and I mean, you want to know where your food is coming from.
Right.
So right now, you have those animals. You have cows.
Yeah, we have cows, and well, what happened was we got rid of, it became too much for me to run the store, for us to run the store and run the farm. So we found a really good local beef producer in Grove City, pasture perfect beef. Mm-hmm. And then we found a really good pork producer in Greenville, Maple Leaf Farm, Moses. Made me realize that, hey, with these two farmers, I don't have to raise our own cows.
Yes.
That way then the produce, I'll concentrate on the vegetables and the poultry, the eggs, and running the store.
What time do you open?
7:30. We tried 6, and we didn't get enough.
Wasn't worth the foot
yeah,
traffic.
Yeah, so we changed it to 7:30. We're new, so we're playing with hours. We're playing with menu items. We're playing with a lot of different things to find that niche. Find the things that work well for us, or the things that don't work well.
Well, I mean, this is a perfect example of farm to table. And I mean, you're meeting the farmer, you're meeting your neighbors, or meeting the people that make everything, fresh baked goods and food.
I say this to all our customers. This is the worst you'll see us. Because what I want to see is 90% local stuff in the store. If we would have waited to accomplish that, we wouldn't have gotten open. So we had to open with purchasing more stuff outsourced than I would like, but knowing that we're going to grow into that within the next year, we should be 90% local is that's our goal.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. Well, Rude is the dude. Rudy is one of the new owners here at the Magic Tree, and it's still the same great local flavor. Yes. And I love your new menu items.
Yes, well, you know what, Casey, we feature a lot of still the farm-to-table, local grass-fed beef on our burgers, house-made bun. For a little entree dinner, we have the Nashville chicken sandwich with homemade grits, local honey, house pancakes, and for a little lighter side too, we got a fresh salad for you, featuring some avocado, fresh cheese, fresh cut citrus fruit. So it's a little lighter version for you. So we kind of hit every angle of your palate here with entrees, burgers, and salads.
That is right. I'm telling you, and you know what? Farm to table, it extends to the beers too. You got Birdfish, Noble Creature. I mean, they support local. Come on out to the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service, independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life, trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
Here at the Upstairs, we cater to everyone. When you come through the door, I treat you as though you're my friend. So there's all kinds of options here at the Upstairs. There's something on that menu for everyone. Great food, friendly service, very clean restaurant. There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of good restaurants in our community. So I always feel honored when someone comes here. I want everybody coming through that door to leave here with a good experience.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for 30 years. And my message has never changed. If you're involved in an automobile accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may encounter. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court. And remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at ElizabethBernardLaw.com.
Open the Jewel Box, the Courthouse Inn, organic vegetarian comfort food, handcrafted cocktails, fine wine and beer, fresh baked cakes and pies. Recharge your senses at the Courthouse Spa. Dazzling dining, artfully prepared, locally sourced ingredients, spa services. The Courthouse Inn feels like a world away, just down the road in historic Lisbon, Ohio. Well, I am very excited about today's segment. I've been wanting to meet Barbara Krause for quite a while. Long-time listener, first time I finally get to see her.
Oh my
and
God.
it is a pleasure to finally.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too. I see you all the time on TV, but yeah, this is the first time we've met face to face.
Now, you are, how long have you been here at WYSU?
A long time. I was actually a student, a music student, back in 1972. One of my history professors, music history professors, Ron Gould, recommended me to this radio station. He said, they've just started up down there with a classical music station. You're a voice major. You sing in these different languages. You would be perfect. So I went down and they hired me. And
so you were a part-time gig?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then you started full-time?
Yeah, I graduated in 75. They hired me full-time. And I've been here pretty much ever since, except for a little hiatus where I had my kids, but I was still working part-time. So yeah, it's been a continuous line since my whole adult life, really.
With your other programming, the weekend programming and your news, all things considered, have you met like Terry Gross and people like that?
I haven't met Terry Gross, no. But let's see, we had Cokie Roberts just come to town a few weeks ago. She was fabulous. She's my idol. And it was just so wonderful to see her and to introduce her and to talk to her and to listen to her. This woman is just paramount.
Do you do personal appearances? I know you introduced Cokie Roberts. Do you have to go out? I mean, like commercial radio, you're going to car lots and you're doing remotes. You don't have to do those kind of things.
Not too many, no. I mean, sometimes people will ask me to speak at the Cultural Alliance program.
With Dr. Beelan.
Yes.
I spoke there too. Remember,
I know
Bill,
you did.
We did that.
I think I was your follow-up act.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
I spoke on Ireland, Irish traditions.
And I spoke on France.
So you're here live every day?
Yes. I'm here every morning at 5 o'clock. I don't go on the air until 6 o'clock. That's for the news. My first part of the day is the news. But then I have the 8 o'clock hour free to just do my prep. So yeah, when I'm not here on the air, I'm usually back in the record library.
Gary Sexton is the director of WYSU. You're Barbara's boss. Is she behaving herself?
I am. She's hard to control.
I know. She seems like a wild woman.
She is.
And you're also a host.
I am. I do a classical program in the afternoons.
And your background is in classical music. I mean, it's wild that you think that classical music is waning, but not. There's a lot of people that have classical music.
Yeah, and we're very committed to it. About, I think, half our staff, maybe more than half our staff, have a classical music background, believe it or not.
And your performance.
And yeah, exactly. And many of them here are.
So, you're leaving the arts and going to the business side, running the station. Do you prefer that? Do you like looking at the numbers and...
I like it all. Like, I really like, after a day of working on administrative stuff and the numbers, going on air and doing the classical music.
He led a tragically short life. Vasily Sergeyevich Kalinikov showed so much promise but died 2 days before his 35th birthday. This was...
Well, you may not know this, but Barbara's son is my neighbor.
Yes.
And I've been really bothering and pestering him that I wanted to meet his mother. And I really enjoy your bread.
Oh, thank you.
And you have, given Eric loaves to give to me.
Yes.
And I am really hoping that you would come on my show.
Oh, my gosh.
And maybe bake some bread with me because yours is amazing. It's delicious. You got it. You're going on. I got it. You're doing that, okay?
I would love to. I would love
bread on my show. And we will not play any music you do not like.
Oh, thank you.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. Shop Rulli Brothers, home of the famous Evening Express.
I am blessed with a wonderful husband. He's stuck with me through thick and thin, and he's a fantastic father. So when he needed long-term care, not just any place would do, we did our research. Everyone said, trust the name you know, Briarfield. With all those locations, there's always one close. That made it easy for me and the kids to visit more often, Briarfield.
Trust the name you know, Briarfield, proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
We've been in the Mahoning County for 70 years. We're not going anywhere.
Bree and I have been in this business since we were kids.
My grandpa built the business off of loyalty, honesty, and trust. My grandfather, my father, they have a legacy here.
We have learned all of these great things from both of them that, we will be sure to keep the legacy going into the fourth generation.
Get real, get Kamara.
4 for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
At Rulli Brothers, the family is in the store. Meats, deli, produce, even the checkout. We work hard to ensure that you get the best products at a personal shopping experience. At Rulli Brothers Markets, our customers are our top priority. Our family is in the store.
Well, look who's in the kitchen with me. Ask and you shall receive. So Barbara, who I've already sampled many of her breads, has agreed to come on and make a quick bread recipe with me.
I hope it's going to be okay. They're baguettes, which are very temperamental, but we're going to do our best today.
But you said this baguette really is pretty quick.
It's not bad, but it still takes a little bit of time because the dough will have to sit for a while. But with the magic of television, we'll just speed things up a little bit here. So for this recipe, you'll need 5 cups of bread flour, 2 cups of cool water, 1 tablespoon of instant dry yeast, and 2½ teaspoons of kosher salt. 5 cups of bread flour.
Directly into the bowl before anything else.
Yep. 2 cups of cool water.
Okay.
And we're going to mix this up and we're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes.
No yeast, no salt.
No, not yet.
Okay.
This is called the autolyse.
Okay.
And what it means is just to rest. The dough is resting and it's pulling in all of that water.
So it took a few minutes to mix the dough. It's all combined. And now after about a 15-minute rest, we did speed that up. But you ultimately should wait an hour, correct?
I would say, yeah.
And now?
So now the yeast, and we're going to turn this on again.
Okay, while it's doing.
While it's
going.
While it's going. And then slowly add the yeast.
Okay. All right, and it's mixing nicely.
All right, now we're ready to add the salt.
Okay. And there's no waiting period here?
You probably, no. If you've mixed the dough for a couple of minutes, then you can go right ahead and add the salt. Yeah.
So you want me to get this going again? Here we go.
And again, slowly. Okay, so you could see how it's come together. It's not very firm. It's a shaggy dough, which is fine. At this stage, it's fine.
Shaggy, I like all
A
the
shaggy dough,
terminology.
yeah. And so at this point, what we're going to do is allow the dough to rest and do the rest of the work on its own.
Okay.
So we can cover it, and we can do one of two things. We can either put it on the counter, and depending on what your room temperature is, it could take between an hour and a half to 3 hours to, we'll say, almost double. Or you can do what I do, and you can put it in the refrigerator overnight. Now the dough will still rise, but much slower.
So we'll fridge this, but Barbara is so clever. She already has dough ready to go.
I do.
Perfectly.
And so we're going to divide it into 4 parts.
Okay.
And pray that they're somewhat equal. Okay. All right. So the thing about baguettes
Yes.
is it all comes down to the shaping.
All right.
The shaping and the slashing.
I'm
So
going to
if you
learn.
want to work with me here, you
Okay.
can take one piece. Just kind of put it in a little ball. Just yeah, scrunch it up like that. And then pat it down. Seam side down. Okay. If you let it relax, it will do whatever you need to do to it. If you
Okay.
don't let it relax, it's going to fight you every step of the
Now,
way.
how do you know it's relaxed?
Because when you want to do what you want to do, it will happen, and if it doesn't
Okay.
happen, it's not relaxed.
I don't need to give it a glass of wine or a cigarette.
Yeah.
No, it's just looking good, bud.
We all have our
Okay.
methods. Okay, so take your dough and just try to stretch it out into a rectangle, and I'm saying approximately 6 by 8 inches, but you know that's approximate. Now take the bottom end towards you and flip it over, and take your fingertips
Okay.
and seal it like that.
Okay.
No, here, right there.
Right on
Okay?
that seat.
Right.
Okay.
And again, and be very careful because this poor dough has used all of its energy building air bubbles, and we don't
Okay.
want to distract from that or defeat that. So pick it up on the end here and fold it over again. And very gently seal it.
Again.
Yep, right there.
Okay.
Okay. And if you can, do it again. Okay. But I take the dough with my hand like this, and I put my thumb right along that seam there.
Okay.
And with my other hand, I'm pressing down with my fingertips to give it one last fold. All right, so the last step
Yes.
in our shaping is we put our dough in front of us, and we take our hands in the middle, yeah, and then you roll up. And baguettes generally have a tapered end, so try and taper the end.
So we have a linen cloth here.
Yes, in France they call these a couche, a
couche.
bed, yeah.
Okay.
And we're just going to flour it.
Now, does everybody need a couche?
No, you can use
a dish
a
towel?
towel. You can use a dish towel, just not terry cloth. Make a fold in between them so that they support.
So they all get to know each other better.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. You are serious.
Oh, you should see my house. Especially on baking day. And now, if usually I don't make 4 at a time, and usually that covers, but it doesn't quite cover now, so we're just going to cover that with a cloth, and we're going to give this about a 30-minute rise. So what we're going to do right before we load this into the oven, we're going to take a half of a cup of water.
Okay.
The directions tell you to put the piece of stone on the next to the lowest rack in
All
your
right.
oven, and on the lowest rack of your oven, a metal pan, has to be metal, not glass, because
Okay.
we're going to put cold water into a hot pan and you don't want it.
And that steam will help.
The steam is very important for the baguettes, yes. With your oven, I'm not sure, I'm going to say 20 minutes.
All right,
We'll
so
see.
let's see.
And if they're browning unevenly, you can open the oven door real quickly and move them around.
Well, look how beautiful the loaves came out. Mine was, of course, the ugliest one. So I took mine, and I'm going to make that traditional pan. I know you've been to Spain.
Yeah.
And what you do is I toasted this under the broiler, and you just take like a piece of garlic that's cut, and you rub the pieces with it, okay? Now, when I went to Spain, here's what they did. They rubbed the garlic, then they just took a tomato that was really ripe, and they just rubbed it like that.
Oh, interesting.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then they would drizzle it with a little olive oil, and then they would salt and pepper it, or just salt it, really. And that was it. Now, there's other ways to make it. So I rubbed it with garlic, and then what they do is they use a box grater with a ripe tomato, and they add the olive oil to the tomato mixture. See? And it's pre-done.
Wow.
Now, we're gonna do a little taste test, see which way we like it better. You know, for that little bit of garlic, can you believe how tasty that is?
It really is. Very aromatic, too.
Here is to Barbara. Go to my website, caseymalone.com. The recipe will be there. Her loaves are beautiful. Mine, not so much. But they do taste good. Taste good. So cheers.
Cheers.
Here's to us. None better. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.